The times of fun phones and fun handhelds are long gone, and all we're left with nowadays is mostly horizontal or vertical orientation, plus some different aspect ratio at best. Yeah, there were some cool devices recently, but I don't really count these because they cost like $1,000 and who's gonna buy it for that amount of money? I'm counting this one and this one, so there were some fun devices recently, but I'm also very pleased to see that anbernic came with this cool Game Boy Advance SP clone. It has this cool clamshell design and it is able to play Dreamcast, N64, Nintendo DS and even some PSP games. And all of this for only $65 US, which is not a bad deal. Latest update 1.05 even brought some kind of Portmaster support. anbernic on their YouTube channel showcased games like GTA 3, not sure how you meant to look around though, Stardew Valley, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, new port of Celeste. I'll be surely updating it and checking it all out, but that's for later. For now, let's look at the cool design. That's for sure its main attraction, that you can open it and close like 3DS or old flip phones, and I kinda dig it. In my mind, I still see it as kinda disadvantage, cause it's a moving part, and I'm sure there is only so many times you can fold it before it's gonna show a signs of wear and tear. This shouldn't be a big of an issue down the line as long as they provide cheap replacement parts. For now it functions, so let's focus on that. In the box you're gonna get the handheld itself, screen protector, manual cable. I'm glad they're still including screen protectors cause they are handy. When it's closed the footprint is fairly small. It's smaller even than a Miu Mini, albeit it's a bit thicker. But when you open it, it has a lot to offer. First thing that struck me was the D-pad. It's a clicky one and I like it. On the Vita it's also a clicky one and it's very nice. On majority of other handhelds there is a D-pad with a membrane, so this is a welcome addition. Then there are action buttons, also clicky, start, select and menu. There is also a mono speaker in here. From the right side power, reset and indicators. Left side volume. From the top shoulder buttons and triggers, HDMI out and USB-C. From the bottom headphone jack, 2 micro SD cards. And from the rear side there is a replaceable battery. You can unscrew it and underneath you will find a battery. You can see here also the chip, Allwinner H700. And when you want to replace the battery, you'll just unplug it in here, take out and put new one in. When it's closed, you can still have it switched on. Now, for example, it's switched on, but it's like in a standby mode. When you open it, you can see it's ready to go straight away. Interface is the usual anbernic one. Game ROMs, RetroArch, favorite, history, game search, apps and settings. In the apps, music, video, ebook, file manager, expert and apps. In the settings, all the information, system information. This is the firmware that I'm using right now. Model number, CPU, RAM and 4 cores clocked at 1.5 GHz. You can change icons if you wish to. This style or even something like this. I like this one, I'll keep this one. There are 4 different colors available: gray, silver, transparent black and transparent blue. I've picked silver one and I'm not sure which one is the best. It's hard to tell because it's always such a huge decision to choose a color. Also huge thanks to Geek for providing this unit for an honest review. It was provided for free, but as usually all opinions are my own. The ergonomics are not bad, it feels comfortable when I hold it, but I think for me personally the buttons are too close together. I mean the D-pad and the action buttons. I would prefer to have it further apart, but that would make the whole device wider. It has 3.5-inch 4x3 IPS LCD screen, 1 GB of RAM and quad-core H700 CPU. anbernic used this same chipset already with plenty of devices, like 35XX Plus, Horizontal or the latest 28XX. Let's look at the PSP emulation first. This chip does pretty good job in emulating PSP games. It has plenty power to run even racing games like Burnout Dominator or Need for Speed Underground Rivals. I was trying D-pad on the Street Fighter and I was able to pull off these tricky moves fairly consistently. Not 10 out of 10, but more like 7 out of 10, which for my skill is above average. Tekken 5 was also running solid at full speed. Fighting games, platformers, racing games, you can enjoy all of those perfectly fine without joystick, even something like Loco Roco. For the games that require joystick, you can still remap the joystick to the D-pad, but there might be some issues down the line depending what actions are mapped to D-pad originally. Dreamcast games were running full speed as well. Crazy Taxi 2, House of the Dead 2. Here you're gonna certainly need the RetroArch shortcuts for loading, saving and quitting out of RetroArch. You can find them on the manual. Res, Soul Calibur, all games that I've tried were running full speed. Dreamcast was quite enjoyable. Then I've tried shoulder buttons. They look weird and they are also weird. They are kinda usable, but it takes a lot of getting used to. Here I'm comparing it to the Miyoo Mini Plus shoulder buttons. I think they are better, but not by much. Then I've moved to N64 Emulation. It was also very solid. Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, no issues at all. But I had to remap joystick to D-pad cause most of these games require joystick to work. Nintendo DS Emulation was also without any issues. New Super Mario Bros., Crash, Mine over Mutant. Ideally wanna play games without touch input cause it doesn't have touchscreen and it is very hard to play touch-based games without actual touchscreen, I'm sure you know that. I had even high-definition 3D rendering enabled, and I haven't seen any slowdowns whatsoever. I was trying to think of who this device is for, who would buy it, would I buy it? Honestly, I'm not really sure. If you would put in front of me all devices with same chipset, the horizontal, the micro, the normal and this clamshell design, and tell me to choose one, I think I would choose the RG35XX, the horizontal version with 2 joysticks, purely because horizontal orientation, in my opinion, is a way to go. But if I would meant to pick second device, I would choose this clamshell one cause it's prettier than the classic mini Game Boy RG35XX Plus, at least in my opinion. It just has more charm. So let's sum it up. LCD screen on this device is nice, buttons and ergonomics feel okay, speaker is loud enough, performance is acceptable, price and design are very appealing. Overall, I would say solid package, especially if you are into this kind of clamshell design. If you are more like me, you might want to consider the horizontal version. Link for this device is down below. After 10% discount, it costs $67. Shipping and taxes are included. They offer also other devices I've mentioned in this video, XXH plus 28XX. They offer even the latest RG Cube. That's quite powerful device with 1:1 screen ratio. I would prefer 4:3 ratio. Not sure if it's any good. I would like to check it out. That's it for this video. I would like to thank you all for watching. Thanks to members and patrons for their support. It's greatly appreciated. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.